What's going on, YouTube? Well, it's comic book day, September 11th, 2019. We got some really fun books today. I only picked up one of my pull boxes. I still got to make my rounds and pick up the rest of them. So this will probably be a little bit shorter stack than what I'll initially end up with. I may end up doing a follow-up video for all the rest of the books that I accumulate this week. Man, we had some great books this week. I haven't been able to read all of them. I think I've maybe got through 3 books. I did have to work today, and I've been off work for maybe about an hour and a half, yeah, give or take. I didn't have time to read any books at work today, unfortunately. That would have been awesome, though, if I would have been able to. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. So we're going to be talking comics today. All right? Well, I guess we'll start off with some of the Marvel pickups. Let's see. We'll flip it around. We got Miles Morales, number 10. And they're claiming that this is a Legacy 250, like it's the 250th appearance of Miles Morales. Not sure where exactly they're getting that from, because maybe it's more the 250th Spider-Man. I could kind of grasp that maybe, but so far, I mean, this is a pretty good book. It supposedly is reintroducing the Ultimate Universe, because if anybody's been following Miles Morales, or not necessarily this series, but just Miles Morales in general, you know, he originated not necessarily from Peter Parker's world, as opposed to the Ultimates in the Ultimate world. So I actually enjoyed this book. But I've been reading the series. I've been reading Champions, so I've kind of been following him. I actually picked up 2 copies of this one, and they had this sick wraparound cover. We'll take it out of the plastic, but we got a lot of books to cover. And Miles Morales usually doesn't have variant covers, but not only did he have a B cover with the Immortal variant, which there was a lot of Immortal variants this week, so he wasn't the only one, but he actually had a 1 in 25 this week. Go figure. So I went ahead and grabbed that also. Like I said, I've been following the Miles Morales this lineage. I actually like the story. He's not too far removed from coming back. I mean, he's been, this series has been kind of brutal to him. He literally just got kidnapped, I think, 2 issues ago. So his dad and his uncle came and saved him last issue. So it's been a very entertaining book, though. I know some people thought it kind of started off slow. I actually enjoyed it, but like I said, I've also been reading Champions also, so it is what it is. Hopefully, with the introduction of how do you say that? Let's see. Ultimatum and the Ultimate Green Goblin, or whoever else they're trying to bring back from the Ultimate Universe. Hopefully that series can keep picking up and keep ramping up, because I don't know how far they're gonna go with it. I'd picked up a Venom 17 second print. I thought that was a awesome cover. I usually don't do second printings, but just for the simple fact that it's Venom, I've really been enjoying Donny Cates' run with this. I mean, I've enjoyed Venom in the past, but man, like, even before Absolute Carnage came out, this Venom run has been top notch. So I did get Venom 18. That's the B cover. I have the A cover in one of my other pull boxes, so I probably have this B cover in my pull box also, but it was one that I didn't mind doubling up on. It is another one of the Immortal variant wraparound covers. And I was actually lucky enough to get the 1 in 25. It's a sick cover. It's the Codex variant. I'm not sure if they had a 1 in 50 or not, but my local comic book shop didn't get it, so I ended up going with the 1 in 25. It's a little bit pricier, but it was well worth it. Today, when I went to go pick it up, I seen on the shelves they had Miles Morales, the Doppelganger cover. I actually missed this last week. They didn't have it in stock at the time. When I picked up my pull box, it was one of the few covers that I didn't get. So I was kind of geeked to finally get that one. I think this was actually from the symbiote, Absolute Carnage Miles Morales. I don't think it's from the regular Miles Morales run. Yeah, let's see. And yeah, this was the Young Guns cover. So I went ahead and picked that one up. I thought it was kind of sick cover. Young Guns did another variation of this for something else, but it wasn't a doppelganger cover. Like I said, in my other pull box, I have Absolute Carnage Symbiote of Vengeance. So out of this one, I just picked up the 1 in 25 variant. Thought it was pretty cool. Got Ghost Rider ripping through or shredding whoever's trying to come up through the ground. I haven't read this one yet, but hopefully I'll get a chance to sit down and read that later on. I picked up the Riri Williams Ironheart number 10. I think this story has really taken a life of its own. I've really been enjoying it. I'm thinking that they're going to go either a clone path or possibly, I don't know, man. Like it's one of those that you can tell that they're about to take it somewhere and they're going to switch it up for her. I haven't read this one yet. Like I said, I didn't get to read any of the comics this week yet, but that'll definitely be something I'll be looking forward to tonight. But Ironheart has been absolutely amazing. I know a lot of people aren't really big on Riri Williams and the Ironheart series, but if you're not reading it, man, you probably should be. I mean, even if they don't make her a huge character in the MCU, it's a fun read. She talks like people really talk. I hate when comic books talk like they have their characters speak in a way that nobody in real life talks like that. I think that's one of the reasons why I can't get into Thor books, just because of the dialect. And it's just a personal thing with me. I mean, I know Thor is a huge franchise. I mean, King Thor came out this week. I didn't pick up any of them because I know I'm not going to read them. But I did pick up Director's Cut Immortal Hulk number 3. I've actually been enjoying these. I wasn't able to pick up any of the Immortal Hulks in the very beginning. I've picked up a couple in the last like 2 or 3 for like the main series. I think I picked up 22, 23, something like that. But I was late to the party, so I think when I found out that Immortal Hulk was such a great book, it was maybe at 11 or 12, and I figured I'd pick it up in trade. Then they started coming out with these director's cuts where it kind of gives you insight into a lot of what goes into making the book. I haven't read this one yet, but 1 and 2 were great, and you get a pretty thick book. I mean, it's a lot thicker than the average comic book because they add a lot of extra features towards the end. I picked up a Fantastic Four 12 second print. I just really, really like this cover. I think I actually did pick up the first printing of this also. I'm not really collecting Fantastic Four, but because they did go back to the Thing versus Hulk, I mean, it's classic. I mean, even though it's written in a new form, it's a classic take on, rivalry. The only Powers of 10 that I have today, like I said, I do have it in another book, was the 1 in 10 variant. Thought this one was pretty awesome. I've been trying to pick up all the 1 in 10s just because they're not really overly expensive, and at least in my local comic book store or shop. But usually they're pretty decent looking also. I know some of the covers haven't been the greatest on some of these, whether it be Powers of 10 or House of X, but I'm loving the story. I actually enjoy Powers of 10 a little bit more than I enjoy House of X. I think I mentioned that in my last comic book video. And the crazy thing is, I mean, it's written and drawn by the same people, but I don't know. I feel like I follow Powers of 10 a little bit closer or easier than I do House of X. I picked up a good old Squirrel Girl. It's number 48. In the previews, they made a big deal about this was one to grab, this is one to grab. Haven't read it. I don't really follow it. I'm just going to throw it into a collection just because I think that it may have some kind of key issue or maybe something to look at. But I did pick up Coffin Bound number 2. Coffin Bound 1 was good. I felt like it laid a nice basis for a series. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this one. I guess I'll read issue 2 and see if I still like it, or if it's something that I think that I'm going to be able to get into for the long haul. Speaking of the long haul, The Watcher 2 came out today. I love this series. It reminds me so much of an actual scary movie. God, I can't talk today. It reminds me so much of an actual movie that this one, I really need to put this on my pull list, honestly, because it is, if you're into horror books, it is well worth the read. The only downside or the only negative I can actually say about this book is its price tag. I think they're like $6 a pop. Yeah, they're $5.99. And that was the other cover for it. I'll set that one to the side. If I can scoot them over. There you go. That was both the covers for The Watcher that my local comic book shop got. I don't know if there were any more besides these two. But, I mean, gorgeous covers. The interior, I mean, just the artwork in general. The storytelling was great. I can't wait. This will out of all the books that I got today, this will probably be the one that I read first. Just because the number 1 or issue 1 was that good. And I don't think I actually collect anything else that Zenescope puts out. But this one is really gripping me. I like this one. And there's another book called Killers that I'm really following closely. And Cantos. Everybody loves Cantos though. Or Canto. New book this week. Pandemica, I think that's what it's called. I don't know a lot about this book. The cover kind of reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, it's issue 1. I'll give it a try. Whether I stick with it or not, I don't know. It's just one of those. Speak of the Devil, Canto. Man, this is one of those fairy tales that everybody can kind of relate to. You know, you got your knight in shining armor that his heart's bigger than his body, and he's really going out of his way to help his girlfriend, would-be girlfriend, the princess, whatever you want to say. I mean, it all boils down to a story that we've probably all heard or seen a million times with its own little twist. I mean, the girl has a clock that's either stopped or getting ready to stop, and he has to find her real heart. Haven't read 4 yet, but can't wait to read it. 1, 2, and 3 were all great. I think this series actually stops at 6, so hopefully they'll pick it back up and it'll get renewed, or they'll decide to go for another season or series with it, because this particular run has been great. We got some restocks in for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 97, so I went ahead and grabbed the A and B cover for that. I actually think I already had the A and B cover, but I wasn't sure, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Matter of fact, I'm positive that I do have the B cover. A lot of movement, a lot of stuff going on with Turtles right now, especially with Jennika finally getting her her stripes per se. So she's officially a turtle now. In DC, went ahead and grabbed Wonder Woman. I usually only grab the B covers for Wonder Woman. I don't read them. My wife's into them, so I'll go ahead and get them for her. But we also got Catwoman 15. And I think this is actually going to be the last Art Germ B cover. And it looks, if it's not, it looks just like Michelle Pfeiffer. So went ahead and grabbed that. I think we actually have all of this series with the exception of some of the B covers. But I think we got 1 through 15. I went ahead and grabbed a reprint or second printing of Batman 77. Everybody by now pretty much knows what happens in 77. I think I ended up grabbing 2 of the B cover for the original release. I didn't get any of the A cover. I should have, but I didn't. Now we got a new comic from Dynamite, and there's tons of covers. It's Chastity. Don't know the premise for this one. The cover art looked really cool, so I went ahead and jumped on it. It was a cheaper book, $3.99, so I went ahead and grabbed quite a few covers. My local comic book shop had a deal where I could get the first 5 covers for an extreme discount. So I went ahead and grabbed the main 5 covers. See if I can get some of them in. I'll let them sit for a couple seconds so you guys can kind of see them. I think that's a pretty awesome cover. Let's see if I can get it without such the glare or so much glare on it. And I don't think I'm gonna have very much luck. Now I got my camera off kilt, but like I said, it looks like she's getting ready to lick the blade, a bloody sword or something. Yeah. Then we got this one. I like that one too, with all the blood splatters and the paint splatter in the background. Then I actually picked up a couple of variants. This was the 1 in 10 and a 1 in 11. I know who does 1 in 11s, right? It's kind of odd, but it is what it is. I don't know how I got my camera so far off. Here, let me take down some of these so we can actually see the whole comic. There we go. And I also picked up a 1 in 15, which is just it's the same comic except for it's the Virgin variant. I want to say J. Scott Campbell did these ones. I could be wrong though. Not this one, but these 2. And then I picked up a 1 in 25, which you can kind of see. Let's see if I can get them all into the screen. So definitely a really cool cover. It was probably my favorite out of all the covers that they had available for this one, at least the ones that my comic book shop got. And then as a honorable mention, I guess you would say, late last week I went ahead and picked up couple graded comics. See if I can get them to not slide off the table. Yeah. Let's see how we can do this. And got a Spawn #1, 9.8. And I also picked up a deceased #1. Oh wow, that has mad glare. 9.8. I got a really good deal on both of them, so I said, hey, why not? I don't have a lot of graded comics. Man, that one just, because of the black background, it just has a lot of glare. That's crazy. Well, now you can see me. Well, that's it for the first run of pickups this week. Like I said, I may do another video on Saturday after I pick up the rest of my pull boxes. I think I got 2 more pull boxes to hit. One of them is my main pull box, so it'll have like all my Powers of 10 and my Amazing Spider-Man and so on and so forth. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you think the best pickup of the week was. To me, I actually look forward to reading The Watcher the most out of all these comics. The Watcher and Kanto. Those are my 2 go-to comics for this week's pickups. Miles Morales is definitely going to be up there, and so is Riri Williams, just because I've really been following those series. I appreciate you guys watching the video today. If you could, hit that subscribe button if you liked it. Give me that thumbs up. Thanks for watching.